Your vote is not a tool for vengeance. Don't act on behalf of the politician. Remember, it is your secret license to efficient leadership. Register today as a voter by making sure you have the national identity card. So apply for ID today so that when registration, mass registration starts, you can register. But remember, you can even register now. Welcome to the bold analysis. Days after Mithika Linturi, the former cabinet secretary for agriculture, announced plans to join Rigathi Gachagua ahead of the new party launch, Peter Munya has also officially declined what looks like Ruto's job offer and is committed to look to align with the new friends. And of course, in a very straight jab, telling the president that he's not interested on any job offer, and of course is going to focus on Meru gubernatorial seat. Welcome to the bold analysis, and kindly subscribe to our channel. Subscription is absolutely free. So when you look at the photo you're seeing there, the image you're seeing there, you will see where you need the top right corner where you need to subscribe and click. You need to click the notification bell, and subscription is absolutely free. Your data is safe both on the back end and front end of the channel. So you will not receive any message from your email because you're subscribed to our channel. So you become a member of this team, you'll get our notifications, and we move together as we grow the big brand. We try to keep it objective and factual. Peter Munya, the statement by Peter Munya has come at a time when Meru is revolting. And without much ado, listen to him here.
For avoidance of doubt, I am focusing on running for the seat of the governor of Meru County for this coming election. So, but running for president doesn't mean it's the party leader only who can run. Yeah, sure. And as we have said, we'll be working with other parties that share the aspirations we have to either field a joint candidate or we field a candidate on our own. But that decision will be made at an appropriate time. But for me as a person, I am concentrating on looking for that job that I used to have some times back, and I think I did a good job that time. And the people of Meru think that I should go there, serve them for a second term. So that's the job I'm looking for now. And in that same vein, let me also make it very clear that I'm not looking for any other job. The job I'm focusing on is the position of governor of Meru in 2027. I'm putting every effort and most of the time on working out ways and means of recapturing that seat of governor of Meru. I don't have the time or the luxury to serve in any other position. I have not been offered any other job by anyone. I want to make that clear. And even if I'm offered, I will not accept. So I'm putting all my time and energy in looking for that job and in working with this party to be able to capture power in 2027.
You need to understand that when he was giving that speech, when he was making that statement, he was flanked by his new party, by his party members. So he was also sending a message on the parties aligning with. And what do you think has triggered that? What do you think has triggered Peter Munya? Did Peter Munya realize that the other day, just today, that he wants to be governor? No. Of course, he's been campaigning to be the governor of Meru. And he's actually in contact with the Kawira Mwangaza and the other team. I told you that deputy governor from Meru if he orchestrated the impeachment of Kawira Mwangaza, he will not serve beyond 2027. The men who are dancing during his inauguration are going to kill each other eyeing that seat. He might not have it. Some 4 aspects has triggered Peter Munya. Number 1, he knows that Ruto can make a surprise appointment. You know, what normally happens here is, and I've had the privilege of talking to some close family members of those who have been appointed by the president. They say, unapigiwa simu leo, kesho, gazette notice. And there's where this decision just made by surprise. And remember, that mythical Linturi, the second aspect is that mythical Linturi interview. There is something mythical Linturi said during the interview in that Meru station, and he said, and that was that the president has never spoken to him, with him, and lied about the fact that they spoke, that has been consulting them. Even today, Peter Munya is also saying that. So the president to counter, one of the things the president can do is to make an appointment. But the other issue that I'm also feeling could be Peter Munya has realized that the emissaries that are sent, and there is a job offer on coming his way, so he's just sending the message. Now, coincidentally, the president is feeling the pressure, and this is what I want to demonstrate to you. The threat of that grand coalition. The president is feeling the pressure, and it is no longer, and you'll understand that has now employed a high-profile scheme to engineer defection from Rigathi Gachagwa's circle. They want to make sure Rigathi is deflated. And someone tells me, a little bit, tells me, this rally in Lolongo.
Watu ya Mlolongo muko tayari? Mimi na ndugu yangu Kalonzo Musyoka na Eugene Wamalwa na George Natembea na Fred Matiang'i tumeanza safari ya kufukuza Kasongo aende nyumbani. Mlolongo muko tayari? Mlolongo muko tayari? Pale kwa Mlima Kenya tumefukuza Kasongo, amekwenda kabisa. Mutafukuza hapa? Kasongo aende asiende? Aende asiende? Atembee asitembee? Ni muongo si muongo? Nani ameharibu uchumi? Nani ameiba mali ya Wakenya? Nani ameua watoto? Nani amehangaisha Wakenya? Nani anasumbua watoto watu wa shule? Aende asiende? Aende asiende? Wangapi wanasema Kasongo aende? Sasa huyu Kasongo tunataka akuwe one term. Sema one term. Nikisema harambee, mnasema one term. Harambee! Harambee! Nikisema Kasongo aende, mnasema one term. Kasongo aende? Kasongo aende? Unajua huyu Kasongo mimi ndio nilimsaidia. Si mnajua? Alikuja na Biblia, akanidanganya ameokoka. Akaniambia ni mtu mzuri. Akadanganya mama mboga. Akadanganya watu ya boda boda. Ni muongo si muongo? Aende asiende? Ni muongo si muongo? Na hii mtu wako uongo.
Immediately after this rally, the NIS told the president it is no longer business as usual, and anyone underrating Rigathi Gachagua is making political ignorance. It's just, underrating Rigathi as the moment is high risk political ignorance. And that is why Meru Maua was poached from Rigathi axis. I'm told Gatanga MP Edward Miriu is also on target, and also one from the Laikipia West MP is also being pursued by the Ruto team. Curiously, to understand the tool being used to crush Rigathi, I listened to Kimani Ngunjiri. Kimani Ngunjiri is saying, and I do agree with him, that after the protest, after the impeachment, Rigathi had a sympathy card and tribalism. Rigathi told his supporters that he was impeached and they have been impeached from government. It depends on how you look at it. But if you ask me, what validates Rigathi narrative that Kikuyu were impeached from government is the fact that the events that preceded Rigathi impeachment. Before Rigathi is impeached, Njuguna Ndung'u was dismissed from cabinet. Moses Kura was dismissed from cabinet. They never made a return. Mithekeli Nturi was dismissed from government, from cabinet. You would want to ask me some balancing act. You can see even, you can see things that have happened. Linturi and so many gazette notices that are revoking appointments of some fellows that have been appointed during Rigathi's tenure. So that worked. So Kimani Ngunjiri is saying that Rigathi and the cabal are likely to set the country ablaze. And I listened to this. This is the narrative that is set to those who are leaving Rigathi's axis. They are supposed to say,
I cannot finish even one hour talking Kikuyu. I'll be talking many languages. I'm talking Kizungu, I'm talking Swahili. I know Kisi kidogo, I know Luo kidogo, I know Kisi kidogo.
Yeah.
That's how we stay there. Then when you tell me I do the politics or somebody from morning from 1 year talking with the same language, it becomes very difficult because I would not like to be caught on my statements making that I can incite people, I can talk bad language so that it can affect us. In the Rift Valley, I lost 14 of my distant family. I will not. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I have left Gachagua. He is my friend. But let him do his politics. Because also there are some things I disagree with him.
I hear you.
When he says that this party, it is party for Milima, that's providing Kikuyus in one basket. And we might end on 41 against 1. And I would not like to be on that in that deal. And you see, for him, I've been telling him, he's my friend. Even now we talk. I tell him, why don't you go in Nyanza? Why don't you go in the Rift Valley? Why don't you go on the other areas?
Go where you're not known.
Yes, we go there and people are demanding you and they want actually to see you. In fact, if you are thrown the stones when you are there, it's better for you politically because it will be seen as a certain region doesn't want you. But when you have been caned on your own area,
there's a problem.
There's a problem. The other point, ma'am, we need to look very seriously. I have it here. I saw it yesterday in Kisumu. I saw people fighting each other. They were fighting somebody. I don't know whether you saw it. Very badly. Damaging the car, fitting like an animal. If we are not careful, and the same things are going in the churches, this country, we are going to burn. And I'm seeing people with a jerrycan of petrol on this hand, others work on a matchbox on the other side, and their intention is to burn this country. Let's diffuse. And we cannot agree that.
Remember who? This NIS agent, anaitwa nani? I believe he's an NIS agent. Is it Kebasu Kubasa? This Kubasa? It's called? Yeah, that one. Morara Kebaso, yeah. That NIS agent left after meeting the Rigathi axis saying that he can't be there because there's just tribalism. Now, Kimani Ngunjiri is talking about the same thing. And before I even analyze that statement from Kimani Ngunjiri, today, even Natembeya was a topic in parliament. There was a social protection bill that was being discussed. I don't understand how Natembeya became a topic there and the leaders coming from Northeastern or having that side of, sympathizers of those coming to that side, actually took time to attack Natembeya.
Speaker, I am shocked. I am shocked when I saw a governor in this country in this Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, shouting at the top of his voice from somewhere in Mount Elgon or somewhere there in Trans Nzoia, saying some Kenyans should not be given the identity cards, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I came to realize the training of a person is very important in life. And the way I'm getting trained in this house, Mr. Speaker, is what has made me serve the people. Mr. Speaker, some of the people who have gone through the provincial administration, who have served in that region of northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker.
I started training you when you were a councillor.
Kabisa, Mr. Speaker,
yes.
In Malakisi. You took me to Malakisi
yes.
in 2005 so that I can interact with the public, you remember. Yes. Mr. Speaker, a whole governor stands in his place addressing a gathering of Kenyans saying that other Kenyans must be discriminated against. Mr. Speaker, I know the governor was a former PC or a former DC, and I know the culture that goes on when you are especially posted to northern Kenya, where you have to be paid for you to give somebody's identity card. And that's how some of them have made their money, Mr. Speaker. That is a colonial mentality. That man does not deserve to lead anybody in Kenya, Mr. Speaker. It is very, very heartening, Mr. Speaker. It is heartening. He does not even be a village elder, Mr. Speaker. When you can come openly and say that certain Kenyans should not be given an ID because they are bordering another country. Even him is running a county that is bordering Uganda. Shame on him.
Because of that he stand on ID vetting. So what am I saying? And I want to debunk this narrative that, you know, this coalition of it has brought Rigathi, Kikuyu, then you have Matiang'i, Kesi. If it goes that way, as Rigathi said, then you have Kalonzo, Kamba, you know, then you have Eugene and the other members, Eugene and of course Anatembea, that is Luyaland, and Malala, you know. And then someone says, because they are coming together as a tribe to represent tribes, they're going to ban the country. I want to explain this way. What caused the 2007 post-election violence? People did not fight because Pentagon had brought in 41 versus 1. People fought because the election was rigged. And majority felt that our decision has not been reflected in the results. Let me bring it forth in 2017. Raila called his supporters to the street to protest against those results. And according to him, and according to what he said is, and not what he said, the support base of Odinga felt that their vote has not been reflected in the final tally. It is not about tribe. It is about the sanctity and transparency of elections. So what can ban the country? Because even a good example, 2022, after President Ruto moving the country with that fake model of bottom-up, 4 months to elections, there was the earthquake. He brought in Wetangula and his brother Musalia to represent Luhya. He went to Mombasa, took Kingi, made Kingi a principal, represent Coast. He went to Northeastern and took a principal. Who is this? Labour CS, Alfred Mutua, to represent Kamba. He went to Nyanza and took Oluwalo to represent Luo. Oh my goodness. So, did people fight? When people are protesting against those results, it was based on those results. So unless those who are talking about violence are the ones that wants to ban the country. And I've realized this is why Kalonzo, Matiang'i, Natembea, Eugene, Rigathi, that axis is now becoming a threat. And they're now using war warmongering as a narrative to crash that coalition. They will want to deflate the hype on Rigathi Gachagwa's party. Rigathi is supposed to launch his party in May. That is the only party remaining in that coalition. So the new trend of engineer defection, saying, the tribalism is going to cause war, it's supposed to deflate that party as a party of violence so that Kenyans to shun. And more importantly, the violence card, the fact that Rigathi is talking about tribalism and it can bring violence, that card is targeting the Kikuyu nation to shun Rigathi. But I want to, and let me put it this way. I don't mean that when people march along tribes, it can't cause violence. One thing I do say here is people don't live in tribal caves. They don't live in tribal caves. Violence is normally organized. Yes, it's organized. If tomorrow you see people having guns, do you want to tell me I can go and get a gun? No. A good example is this Gunism. When you see people going to attack a leader in a church and the police are just around and they're not going there, it is not organized. So those talking about violence must then be investigated. And that Kimani Ngunjiri need to explain. I am not seeing the nexus unless someone wants to rig an election. And if it is about a protest, a revolt against the state, then it will be the national good. For example, when people raised their voice against finance bill, was it about tribe? No. It is the president that used tribalism to deflate it. But bringing in Raila, and then Raila people start singing the whole night, the whole day that they're in government. But then the whole thing of you're in government is to make sure that you don't protest against things that are happening. I don't know why that is important. Number 3, NIS has told Ruto that that coalition can upset him in 2027. That coalition can win the next general election. Yes, they can. That I believe they can. It's not far-fetched. And they realize also that why they're being profiled as warmongers is because Raila deal is wobbling and can walk out anytime. Thank you.